So great to have such a nice audience here. Thank you for all coming out. And that always raises the energy level. And of course, since some of you are related to some of the actors, that also puts a little bit more at stake for the performances, which is always nice. I'm a big fan of making the actors nervous, so I think it's very positive. Have as much adrenaline as possible. Now, there's a lot of material in the actual program, so you can read a bit and review about the Spoon River anthology, as well as see the order of the individual pieces. But I'll just say a quick word about the Spoon Rivers. The Spoon River anthology, which was written in the early 1900s, is a very unique piece of drama. It serves as a book of poetry, and it also serves as a book of dramatic monologues, and it's been used both ways. It's been done as a reading, and it's been done as a full dramatic piece, as a complete play. The way it's used in the Meisner technique, which I emulate in the courses here, is that it is used for a particular technical stage of development in the actor's work. And that is after having done full scenes with very specific character work. And one of the unique qualities of the Meisner training is that the characters are done in a very specific physical way, so that you see a transformed human being rather than just having a general sense of character, specific behavior and specific characteristics that are displayed by the actor. And you can sometimes see the difference between that kind of acting and more general acting if you see certain actors who do that kind of very specific transformative work in films or on stage, as opposed to someone who more or less appears to be themselves with slight differences from one performance to the next. And after having done that training and done those characters in a full scene work rehearsal process, we use the Spoon River monologues, which are very powerful, condensed character monologues, in order to solidify that character technique. So it's kind of like taking your whole character technique, your ability to transform your emotional and physical life into another human being, and condense it into a short period of time. It sort of fuses the character technique together and superpowers it. In addition to doing it in a short period of time, because these are all short monologues, we also do 2 or 3 monologues each with very different characters. And so the actor gets the experience of working on a couple of different distinct characters, then switching back and forth between them. And that's quite a bit different than taking one character and working on it for months and getting completely involved in that one character. So it's kind of a final capstone on the character work. It develops that ability to do a character quickly and still do it very fully, and it develops the ability to understand how to do more than one character, switch back and forth, and kind of become adept at it. So that's an important stage of progress. It's near the end of the basic training. There's one more intensive course left, and it represents the culmination of most of the technique. What you should see, and what is interesting to see, and what I have been very happy to see with this group and these pieces, is a very distinctive character for each one of these monologues. So you can watch for that, and hopefully you will see those who you know, which is even a bigger test of change, turn into a couple of different people. But they'll come back. The other thing about the Spoon River pieces, these monologues, most of them, some of them are funny, but for the most part they have a very, very powerful emotional underpinning, or they represent a very strong emotional event in the character's life. And the characters themselves are, for the most part, pretty intense human beings. What they also have in common is that they're all deceased. The characters in the Spoon River anthology are all speaking from the local cemetery. So they have the opportunity to look back on their lives, talk about the most important things that happened to them, or summarize their whole lives in a nutshell, which some of them do, or talk about the most important issue that's still on their mind. So it's a very interesting perspective on a whole life lived in a very short period of time. And that is pretty much a good summary of what this evening is about. I hope that you enjoy seeing the pieces. It'll go by fairly quickly, but because each piece is very distinctive, it should be a very interesting journey from one character to the next.